Namaste. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across the planet, around the world. And my name is Greg Prescott from Zentasia.com as well as in5d.com. And you're tuned into another episode of Zentasia Spirit Chat. And tonight we're going to be talking about walk-in souls, which is a topic I find extremely fascinating because I probably have had a number of them. And before we get into it, I'll get into, what is a walk-in soul and why would they come in? Now, a walk-in soul may enter with a different purpose or mission for you, and that'll be a noticeable change, more so to others than to yourself. In other words, those closest to you will notice these changes before you do. A walk-in might come into you to help complete significant tasks or help you to pursue meaningful ambitions. They might help you achieve a lifelong dream. A walk-in can help you evolve on a personal level and provide a deeper spiritual awareness. For example, out of the blue, you might start meditating, right? Now, let's look at some of the signs that you might have had a walk-in experience. For example, you might start listening to music from a different era that you never listened to before. For me, that was one of my signs when I started listening to big band and swing music. You might start liking different foods or beverages that previously you disliked or never tried before. For me, that would be liking more vegetables, right? You may experience sudden changes in personality. You might have a distinct change in personality traits, interests, or behaviors that are significantly different from your previous self. Another sign is you might experience heightened spiritual awareness, but if you already had that, then you might not notice it, but you'll probably start getting a much deeper understanding without even noticing the change. You might develop new skills, talents, or abilities that you never had beforehand. Something physically may change within your physical appearance, such as changes in your posture, right? You might start sitting up straighter or hunching over. Changes in your voice, facial expressions, or mannerisms. You may develop changes in your career life path or career path that's vastly different from your previous aspirations or lifetime goals. And you may experience sudden profound insights, intuitions, or revelations about your life purpose, relationships, or the nature of reality. You may feel disconnected from past memories that were significant to your previous identity. Now, that doesn't mean that you forgot these memories. They're still there. And on that note, let's bring in our friends into the chat room. There's a link on my Facebook page as well as below this video on if you're watching on YouTube, if you want to come in and join us, or if you're watching on Facebook, that link is right above us. So let's bring everyone in. Come on in. Here we go. Hi, guys. I should say, hi, ladies and gentlemen.
It's even. Two ladies, two gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tonight's topic, we're talking about and we only do this for an hour. This is our difference from in5D Spirit Chat to this 1 hour. Going to limit it, but I already got all my stuff out of the way. If anyone wants to jump in and talk about your experiences with walk-in souls, feel free to do so.
Well,
I'm going to let the others speak first.
Well, would you consider walk-in if I'm channeling somebody?
I don't know. Would you?
I would, yeah.
Okay.
I let them. I mean, they're basically controlling my vocal cords. So. Yeah. So that would be Shala and the Kaya, which is a Arcturian. That's part of the Galactic Council of Light, or the Council of 12. It's a Syrian-based operation, as far as I understand. They call it a light academy. It's like a well, the Council of 12 is to represent.
How long have you been channeling them?
The 12 represent the 12 dimensions of space in this universe.
Makes sense.
And
yeah.
So they've got like professors or teachers there and students, graduate students and stuff like that. Anybody, it can be anybody in that group. I just go with the ones that I have a more familial contact with. So yeah, but I mean, they're both of those, Shala and Kyle, are getting their I mean, they can tap into the 12, those 12 dimensions. There's people around him, entities, I would say. Not all of them would look, well, they're all kind of hominid. Some of them are totally ethereal. I mean, I would say they're over sixth dimension, the sixth dimension or sixth density, if you want to use that nomenclature.
Yeah.
That's a big word for me, nomenclature.
And do you tap into them?
Pardon? Do I tap into them to Al? Well, how do I tap into my...
You got asked two questions at the same time.
I just made a comment.
Do you tap into
Nothing. I just made a comment. Carry on. That's it. I said nomenclature was a big word for me. Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't even know what that means.
How I tap into them is with the balls, by raising my vibration that way.
Yeah.
And then some deep breathing. And then I have this, I went through a series of meditations put on by the late James Tiburon of Earth Keepers.
Mm-hmm.
And it was called Metatron's Key. And it was a really long, drawn out process. And he had us go do this certain physical reaction. So I have this thing that I'll do 3 times to repeat. And that activates Metatron's key, which connects me to the 12 dimensions of this universe. When I first did that, I went a little bit beyond the 12 and went into the 13th. And that became so expansive that I just said, I think I'm going to come back into the universe. And I just crept down to where I was just in the galaxy. And that's when I made the connection to the Council of 12. And that's kind of how I connect with them now, is I'll do that hand symbol, the breathing, the balls. And that gets me into a pretty heightened state. And to the gamma, I guess it's called gamma vibration, which is a little higher vibration actually than you normally would go into, alpha to go into a meditation. So I start off in the alpha and go zip over the beta into the gamma.
By the way, Phil, welcome back to YouTube.
Yeah, well, I'm not probably going to ever get back on it. YouTube.
Now, okay, because what I don't, you probably missed what I started out with anyway, explaining what a walk-in is and how signs you may have had a walk-in. But when you channel, as you were mentioning, do you feel any differently? Have you noticed any changes in your personality? Because those are like two key signatures of a walk-in.
Well, I feel a certain softening, and I feel that higher energy when I'm connecting with those entities, of course. I feel different. I mean, and it's kind of like being in a hypnagogic state too, though, because I have a hard time. It's like I'm in a dream state, right? I'm really reacting with the environment, the ether, whatever, and whatever I'm connecting to there, my Shala or the Council of 12, or, even if I'm going through the angels, or whatever they are, Anunnaki, I don't know what the hell to say on that score. But, it's just a matter of, you got to open up your channel to let that in. So that's the closest I would say is to a walk-in. It's
okay.
It's kind of a surrendering. You surrender your ego totally.
All right. Well, that was an answer I wasn't expecting, honestly. So I appreciate you sharing that insight with us.
Okay.
Vera, Allie.
Well, thanks to your explanation, I think I switch in between the walk-in souls way more than I expected. Because especially now with the training with Marley, you have those moments that he goes into, and then I have to get into a no bullshit, no BS mode. I'm completely different. The way I walk, and if I notice someone is trying to butt in, they know they better not step or towards me or argue with me. And sometimes even when I just talk with someone, and just in that conversation, I feel myself switch. And I give that person, say, with just a little story, some insight, and they feel better. I think that's part of that walk-in, a spirit that just steps in, talks through me, and my behavior is totally different at that time. And I used to push it away, but I'm starting to integrate it in my life, in my day-to-day life, whenever I need to.
Oftentimes a walk-in soul comes in to give you an upgrade.
Interesting. So, sorry.
Go ahead, Allie.
Yeah,
no, I didn't, because everything I do, I'm out doing something again.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, because you hear it about 10, 20 seconds later than when you start to talk. So that's why it happens.
Yeah.
Is there a delay in the UK? There's not one for you, though, Vera.
There must
be. But I have my computer is directly
She's in the Netherlands.
Connected. Yeah.
Right. I know. But it's overseas from America, so you'd think if one was delayed, the other would be as well.
Well, I got, at least for a year, a badass internet connection. I could basically hook up 30 computers.
Oh, wow.
That's
with no delay.
That's broadband.
So what were you asking, Allie?
With no delay.
That's broadband.
So what were you asking, Allie?
Hi, Chris.
I'm hearing an echo somewhere.
Oh,
Echo somewhere. It's Chris. If I mute you, I don't hear the echo.
There you go. There you go.
She'll sort it out.
Yeah. She's been on here before.
Got it on your TV as well, Chris.
Yeah, she knows how to do this.
Oh.
She'll be back.
She has to turn down the YouTube channel or the Facebook.
I think you started to ask about those moments that I do switch with the spirits that just come in. Ellie?
Yeah. What I wanted to say was, I suppose there's two then types of walk-in. Some that are temporary and some that stay with you for a little while. Or is it that it's a spirit guide that comes in and switches back and forth, and that's another name for walk-ins? So they're similar. Are you talking about the permanent walk-ins, the ones that are there for a direct amount of time, and then they go back again and then come? What ones are you talking about? What ones did you mean, Greg?
Well, what I was talking about originally in the intro are generally ones that come in, and it's mostly for an upgrade, some kind of upgrade that they're providing to help you with a purpose direction that you're heading. Most of the time, they stay with you until you get another one, and they upgrade you once again.
Yeah, I think I've noticed that when I did get Marley, that I'm getting uplifted to a standard that I can basically walk him without saying a word and feel what other people are doing. And usually because of where I have been, where I've came from, I've been so quiet. I didn't speak up. Right now, if I don't like what someone is saying or doing, I tell them. I usually walked away thinking, F you, and now I'm saying it, F you.
I usually take the higher road. I try to take the higher road.
Yeah, and I'm getting past that. And knowing you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that gave you a hard time, you can literally see them like, hold on. No, I'm not saying anything. Yeah, no, I'm not saying anything. She means literally no BS. And usually I started the discussion. Yeah, but this, yes. But when that happens, I go in a completely different, and I'm confident because it's not my way of doing, my way of behaving. That probably one of them, I hear straight away, Dad steps in. This is how you can do it also. So partially it's my dad that then steps in to teach me that I can still speak up and keep on my track instead of starting to doubt myself.
I see people in the chat are commenting about their walk-in experiences. Lilith said that her husband's a walk-in. And met you at the beach last year. Okay, yeah. And Lise Lott said it's a meld. One has to surrender to it. Love you all. I don't remember specifically asking for any of my walk-ins. They just come in. But I think on a higher level, I'm open to that as long as they're going to give me an improvement or an upgrade, right?
Right. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
If it's beneficial, I'm for it. And if it's taking me down, I'm going to resist or shut it down, is what I would say.
Yeah.
But I mean, when I think about it, since I started channeling
Yeah.
Shala, I've seen a lot of improvements in my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Right on.
in the way I react with people and everything. So I think I can go that way with what you're saying there, Greg.
Desley said that I feel I had a walk-in experience due to trauma. That would be an ideal time for that to happen. Yeah. My sentient self could not cope with the harshness of the world, and another soul took over. I have changed, and I'm much stronger for it. So yeah, that's a perfect example, Desley. I appreciate you sharing that.
I don't know why it took twice.
My body has experienced major physical changes in weight due to upgrades. Okay. So anchors in 12 to 15 dimensions and our own fractals. A walk-in could be a higher version of ourself. Could also be from the future. Yeah.
Right. In my case, it is a part of my higher self. Shala is.
And Chrissy's asking, do walk-ins switch souls? That's a good question. I think you retain yourself, but they come in and they just add to whatever it is that you have or are trying to achieve. That's my impression. And
Well, I wondered how the twin flame thing would work. You know what I
I
mean?
was going to say, speaking of Chrissy, I was going to introduce you, but here you are.
I had a horrible time getting in. But anyway, yeah, I didn't know about the soul thing.
Okay. Have you ever had a walk-in soul experience?
I have no idea. Can you guys, being so intuitive, tell if somebody else has had a walk-in? You or Allie?
Well, I explained in the intro.
Well, I missed that.
I explained in the intro all the signs that you'd be looking for, basically.
Oh, no,
You missed
I'll have
it.
to listen to it again.
Yeah. So you'll have to watch the beginning again.
Okay.
Well, I can answer your question intuitively. Yes, you have had such an
Yeah,
experience.
Greg's had one, haven't you?
I've had a number of them. Yeah.
And it could be as simple as you're feeling down and you get the sense of a hug. I mean, that's how it started with me.
Nobody's hugged me.
And you haven't felt that astral hug out there?
No.
Okay.
My ex-wife and my daughter have noticed it. And that's why, sometimes you might be the last one there'll be certain changes within your personality, distinct changes.
I've been single for so long that I don't have anybody to,
But well, I'll tell you, 2019, I had a walk-in, and this walk-in, anyone that knows me knows that, I'm a guitarist and I play hard rock music often. But all of a sudden, I started listening to big band and swing music. So it was distinct. That walk-in was definitely distinct. You might have a change in, all of a sudden you're eating food that you never liked before. There might be a physical appearance change, stuff like that. Go back and watch the beginning of this, because you'll notice specific things that change within your personality.
What I feel with you, have you had moments that you think you didn't want to do anything? I am so tired. I don't want to do. I have to do this. I'm not doing. And all of a sudden, and you don't have no idea where it comes from. It's like you hit the fist. I'm fed up. I'm doing it. That could be you had a soul walk-in to help you get past that depressed feeling.
Well, I've suffered from depression for so long, I don't know.
And but do you have sometimes the feeling you didn't feel you want to do anything, and still you did it, and you don't know why you did it? Yeah. You might have had more than you realize.
The lamp. I thought we didn't need to, but can you? They can see us.
Hey, Jeremiah.
Hey.
What's
Greg.
happening? Hi, Lise.
What's happening, guys? Thanks for letting us in.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for joining us. Have you guys experienced any walk-ins?
I think I've been like Phil had said. I wasn't really sure what a walk-in was, but I think it's aspects of my higher self most of the time, or an altar that was walled off, and that got healed during a soul retrieval that came back. You know.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
with
I
your
hadn't thought about that. Yeah, shadow work. You pull in fractionalized parts of your soul, usually from trauma. This could be even and this might apply to you, Christy, is that you've integrated parts of your soul from a past life too. So any of those can come in and seem like a walk-in, or that you like you get a download would be another way of talking about this. I think is that you get a download of information, or as Greg said, an upgrade, and that's what you get. So in your case, Christy, maybe it would be that you are getting a walk-in that's helping you get over your depression, or help you work through all those issues, those traumas, to bring those shadow parts back into yourself. So this would be like an upgrade once you've gone through that process.
definitely. Here's a good question in the chat from Sam. She's asking, I don't know if this is a silly question or not. Of course it's not. You're always welcome to ask anything here. Can walk-ins change your thoughts? I don't think they're going to change them. They'll influence them, but I don't think they'll change them. So it's a slight difference there, but they'll just kind of like nudge you in the right way, or give you inspiration perhaps as well.
Well, I mean, it kind of depends on how willing you are to step aside and let them come through.
That's true. That is. You might be stubborn and fold your arms and say, no, I refuse. Right?
Right. Well, and you have that right. I mean, every one of us has got that right to say, I withdraw my consent.
Right.
I'm not gonna play your game. I'm not happy with the direction this is going.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I always stay in the background. I pull back and let the energy in. And, I trust Shala now, and pretty much trust the Council of 12. Or at least the beings that have come forward from there that have interacted with me. Or
I find it, this is a very fascinating topic, and it's also very subjective as well, because everyone's going to have a different experience and a different reason for a walk-in to come in, if you've actually noticed the walk-ins, or if other people have noticed the walk-ins within you. I see that, like in the chat, Lois said that, yeah, she'd explain it. She's trying to come in. I don't know why you're having an issue, but
I had a hard time too. I don't know.
Well, no, when you came in, I saw you down there. I just
Yeah.
didn't let you in because there was somebody's in between thoughts, and I just
That's fine.
Yeah, nothing personal.
That's okay.
I didn't want to interrupt their train of thought. Yeah, no, you got in fine.
So if somebody walks in, do you go someplace else?
No, you still retain all your memories and everything like that. It's just something is added to you.
Oh, okay.
It's like what Ali was talking about, a spirit guide that actually co-inhabits your space and gives you maybe courage, bravery, or advice. You'll get, it makes for a stronger connection to get the information in, so you can utilize it in the most beneficial way to yourself.
Cool.
Camille said, I don't know what walk-ins would move in and out of your body. I've always been under the impression that a walk-in takes over your body and stays in it. And in my case, that's true, but I can't speak for everyone else. And then moves on to something somewhere else. And you and your soul. Well, I think, I don't know. That's one of the subjective things about this. And I don't think there's any definitive answer. In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. Right.
Well,
And what we're finding from people here is everyone's having different experiences. So that's what this is all about, just sharing them.
Yeah. I mean, there is that, I know of somebody that says that's happened to them, where they were being crushed, and that soul exited, and you have a whole new soul step in and just run the life from there on.
I've heard of that too. I have. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that big transfer, but there's variations of that, is what I would say. And we're talking about those variations too, just to fit into this discussion.
And a situation like that might be somebody's, ready to commit suicide or something. And maybe that walk-in says, hey, I got to save this person, or do whatever I can to help. Right. And they might have that might be a situation where that might happen.
Well, in fact, that is why Shala and I don't incarnate at the same time.
Yeah.
Is so that if it were, because this has already happened to her once. And I think, unfortunately, I had stepped in. I'm not sure about that. Was I incarnate when Shala was incarnate when she committed suicide? Yeah. So, yeah, I wasn't there to do that for her. And she's had to go through a lot of work to make up for that error.
Yeah.
I'm not going to call it a sin, but it is, it's.
This is a great question. Can you get bad walk-ins? I don't think so. I don't think your higher self would allow that to happen.
Yeah, I kind of doubt it. I would hope my higher self wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it wouldn't.
Like to welcome Lilith aboard. Hi, Lilith.
Hey,
Thanks
kids.
for joining us.
Hi.
Hi.
Really quick, I can't stay on here very long. I don't know why I couldn't get on before. This is just my personal knowledge, but it's not me, it's my husband. In his situation, I would say total soul swap.
Oh, yeah?
The original soul is gone.
Wow.
And this happened in 2015 is when it happened. I won't get into all the specifics, but it was like a contract. It was a contract, basically, a soul contract. And it was to occur at a certain time, and it did. And it changed. It changed him a lot. Like his personality changed a lot. Everything from the way he dressed, and like you were talking about music, clothing, music, food.
Yep.
Like the flexion in his voice, everything changed.
I get it.
It was so crazy. And then after that happened, then he gradually over all these years, because this was 2015, he's been slowly waking up, and he knows what it is, and I think he understands it, and he just he just rolls with it. It's what it is. So in this case, total soul swap, not temporary. This is permanent.
And it sounds like an upgrade, honestly.
It was an upgrade. Yeah, definitely an upgrade. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Yeah, but for a reason, for the mission, let's just say. is why it happened. But yeah, there's a whole thing. It's a whole long story I won't get into, but that's just I just wanted to chime in. That was
I
it.
appreciate that. Thank you, Lilith.
Oh, you're welcome, guys. It's good to see you all.
You too.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe why some people change careers.
Yeah.
You know?
Desley said that after my walk-in experience, paranormal abilities and extraterrestrial contact became apparent. That's cool.
Mhm.
That's really cool. It makes you wonder too, where some of these, Dolores Cannon talked about how people that are trying to help the earth are coming in and incarnating as humans. Are they also incarnating as walk-ins? Are higher dimensional beings coming in that provide, like with what Desley said, paranormal abilities that you never had previously? It's a great thought to ponder.
Yeah, no, I think that is exactly what happens. It's you can also think of you're a multi-dimensional being. You've got 12 or 5 more chakras that go up beyond this that encompass different sectors of or dimensions of space time, if you want to get into that. Nomenclature is just using those terms as and we have to, we just have to roll with it, as she says her husband did. It was just now I'm this, and but yeah, anything that's going to open you up and let you come through with different powers, different ways of processing thought, upgrades in that. I mean, this is it could be some other part of your soul. Like I said, soul. You fractalize. We can't hold the completeness of our soul within this body, this 3D body. We don't tap into full soulness, I think, until we get into 4th, 5th density, or that would be 6th, 7th dimensional consciousness.
Right on. Debbie was saying that I've seen higher self walk-ins, angel walk-ins, and human soul exchanges in walk-ins. Wow. Those are some pretty amazing experiences and it just goes to show you, all the different ways that a soul can walk in, right?
You'll see it in my phone.
Do you think that people who have been through big childhood trauma and have big blocks of time that they can't remember have had a walk-in soul who took on that trauma for them? Definitely. And that's why the traumatized person can't really remember it. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, Camille. Yeah, I would definitely go with that.
I agree, yeah. Definitely.
My other channel stopped? That's odd. Anyway, I'll have to check that later. It's showing up here on the dashboard that everything's still okay on Zentasia and on Facebook. So, yeah, it's a great topic, and I love hearing other people's opinions on, what their experiences are. Does anyone else have any other experiences that they'd like to share with walk-ins?
Jeremiah does, I think.
Yes,
I think he
I
does, right?
But my experience is similar. Is similar to the comment that you just read, but mine is that
Be careful.
I I forgot everything, literally everything, because of a head injury, and I'm slowly getting back, but it is very, very hard.
Did you notice any changes in your personality, like we were talking about beforehand, things that were different, that you weren't typically doing before the head injury, and then afterwards, all of a sudden, things changed drastically, and
Yes.
certain preferences or whatever, things that you listen to, or
Like, for the thing, the same, but because because of where I live now, I can't really express myself. And therefore, my speech is very bad. It was very bad.
Where you live now?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Um, he had a head injury and a bacterial brain infection that we didn't know where it came from, and yeah, it was a big medical fiasco. Doctors couldn't figure it out, or they said they couldn't. Right? They said they couldn't. They were just interested in money, but and, I won't go into that part, but he he had a brain injury that he's been recovering from ever since, and it affected his Jeremiah's speech. But he's coming back from it. When he came out of the hospital, he was reading tarot cards.
so
And
that's a definite change in
Yeah.
behavior. Yeah, something he wasn't doing beforehand. Yeah.
and
Yeah. Are you open to having the walk-in experience, Jeremiah?
That,
Are you do you welcome that? Something
what's
like
that?
an upgrade?
I love that.
Good question in the chat. Do you retain any of the memories of the walk-in? I don't think it's necessarily the memories. It could be. It could be though. But it's the experience that you would end up retaining. And like, for example, like when I was telling you guys about all of a sudden I started listening to big band music. I don't listen to it as much anymore, but I still enjoy it. And that was something that I retained. And I think, that Walken's moved on, and I've had another one since, especially with all the operations I've had in the last 3 years. But I still remember that. So it's not necessarily, the memories from that past life that person had that brought their experiences to me. It was more the memories of what I created from it.
oh,
Okay.
With me, it was sometimes to experience situations in a different way. I used to when I would get back talk in the wrong way, I would get pretty angry and just go into hiding. And that's where walk-ins help me change how I respond to them.
In what way?
Say in an argument, if someone just told me I was full of shit, to say it bluntly, I used to get very angry, run off, hide, sit on the toilet or whatever.
Is that where you often hide?
I used to.
Okay.
And then out of the blue, I had that situation again. And the way I responded, I thought, it's not me. But it showed me how I could handle it. And that helped big time. So that's when I didn't need so much alone time on those circumstances. I've been bullied big time.
That's kind of like what I just answered and what Von Craig was asking. You learned something through the process, basically.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you grew from it.
Yeah. And in certain situations, I don't even know what I've done or what I've said. But it changed the way I felt afterwards. Beating myself up less.
Yeah. And that's another important signature of having that walk-in experience is you became a better person for it. You grew spiritually.
And I hear, you were hard not to crack. I'm stubborn.
We got some loving words for you, Jeremiah. Mel D, bless your head injury. And blessings for a full recovery from Gemini Moon. And Claudette said, Jeremiah, sending healing light to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we got a great family here. As you know, you've been part of it for a long time. You and your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're grateful for that. Yeah.
And we are too. We are too. Is there anything anyone would like to wrap up on before we head out?
Not me.
Phil, it looked like you were ready to say something, and then you just.
Okay. Well, what I would say is, in regard to this issue, walk-ins, soul upgrades, downloads, is just to embrace it and not to walk away from it, because it does hold treasure within it. There's things there that'll help your soul grow, become more wise, become more loving, kind, compassionate. I mean, I think this is where, you can open yourself up to this experience, or it can happen dramatically, like all at once. And but whatever way it happens, it's the important thing is to treat yourself with love and healing and honor what's happening to you.
Well said. I appreciate that. And that's a great way to wrap things up too. I want to thank everybody that's joined us here live. I know it takes a lot of courage for many of us that are introverts, and I want to thank everyone that's in the chat. If you guys want to, and for sharing your experiences as well in the chat. If you have any other additional thoughts, put them in the comments below, so other people can learn from this as well. And I just want to say thank you to also to everyone that's watching on the recorded version of this as well, and leave your thoughts below as well. So on that note, I want to thank you guys all, whether you be here on live camera with us or in the chat room or on recorded version, for joining us again tonight on Zentasia Spirit Chat. We'll see you again next week. Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.